Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we'll be doing a card using embossing folder and I'll show you how to stretch your embossing folder. For this obviously you'll need an embossing folder. I'm using the one from Darice, but feel free to use any embossing folder of any design you have. You will also need a black, white and a craft card stock along with a pattern paper of your choice. You'll also need a designer punch. I'm using the one by Fiskars. You'll get this at Joann's. And you'll also need distress ink of your choice. You can choose any color you want. Let's get started. First we'll emboss the white strip of paper. This is a great way to use up any of the scraps left over from other projects. Cut out the embossed image into square-like tiles and then mat it on a black cardstock to give it a frame. Now gently rub the distress ink directly onto the tile to bring out the embossed image. Just to save some time, I have already created a few tiles of different colors. Next, I'm going to punch out the craft cardstock. If you don't have this punch, no issues, just leave it plain or use a scallop scissors if you have one. Mat it onto the pattern paper, which is of the same size as the card base. Stick down the tiles onto the craft cardstock to create a pattern and stamp your sentiment. That is all there was to this card, but this is where I messed up and had to fix it, as you'll see it in just a moment. As I said, at this point you can just stamp your sentiment onto the pattern paper and you're good to go, but I messed it up big time while stamping and had to fix it somehow. So this shows nobody is perfect, alright? So let's get started with how we can fix it. As I had already glued down the cardstock onto the pattern paper, I couldn't remove it, so I trimmed the pattern paper to the size of the craft cardstock and used distress ink on the edges and glued it directly onto the card base. I stamped my sentiment which says happy birthday on top using archival ink. Instead of a top folding card, now we have a side folding card. I scored some lines using my scoring board to create some border like effect. To create a vintage feel, I used my distress ink again. I was not totally happy with the card. I think I liked my trial card better, but let's just put it down to experience. We'll learn from our mistakes, right? As you can see in my trial card, I punched out border on both sides to create a ribbon or lace-like effect. So that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. Take care and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.